Hello guys, I welcome you to episode 5 of Get Fit with Oatopia, a place where we help you eat smarter and live better. I'm assuming most of you know me. I'm your host Ankur for today's evening. Thank you. Yes. Let's see people joining in. I'm waving hands at all. Perfect. So guys, before I begin with the session, I would like to ask you guys, when the things go normal, what is the first thing that you will be having outside of your home? Yes, please write. I'm waiting eagerly to know your responses. Absolutely food, but which kind of foods are you wanting to have? Alright, so until you think, I am about to start with the introduction of our today's speaker. On the channel of Get Fit with Oatopia, we have an international guest today. He happens to be a chef. Not only this, he worked as a head of research and development in various restaurants. Guys, Dimitrios is has an immense qualification in whatever things that he's doing currently. His specialization is in whole of animal butchery and fermentation of foods. So he's here with us to share some of the nutritional benefits from the foods and talking about the fitness aspects. So I think he is here. So I can't really wait to invite Dimitrios to our today's session. I hope this session would be helpful to each one of you. Waiting for the speaker, and 3, 2, 1. There you go.
So,
hello, my boy. What's up?
I need to fix my camera. I don't know if it works. Right?
Yes, please.
I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you, Dimitrios? You look fantastic.
Thank you. Well, it's been a great day. The weather is really hot over here in Greece. So yeah.
Oh wow. So let me tell you guys, he's come live from all the way from Greece and share his wisdom on nutrition and fitness. Thank you for joining, first of all, Dimitrios.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, pleasure. So how's the situation in Greece currently?
Are you mean with the coronavirus or with
yes,
what?
Absolutely.
So, well, Greece handled it pretty good compared to other European countries. So we're currently didn't have more than 3,000 cases in total, which is really low for Europe and the world generally, because we had a total lockdown for 3 months, so nobody was allowed to go outside. And well, now because it's summer and all the tourists from all around the world are coming to Greece, it's getting a bit worse. But
true,
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
we're not hoping for something similar to a lockdown again, but let's see how things are going to evolve.
Absolutely. So grateful that you added. And especially in India, the situation is getting worse day by day,
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. And
yeah.
also because I think there's like more than 2 million cases and still like they're taking only a small amount of people. So it may be like 1 million cases and not like, so you never know.
Absolutely. That's great. So my very first question to you would be, out of the several professions out here, why did you choose to become a chef?
Yeah, so, well, that was pretty much out of luck, I would say. A lot of people say, well, I was cooking since I was 6, and I was cooking with my grandma, and I was cooking with I don't know with who. Well, this didn't happen with me. So I moved to Germany when I was 17 to do something professionally with football. So this never happened, and during this first year where I was trying really hard to make things with football, I started cooking for myself and for my uncle because I was living with my uncle back then. So I started cooking at home for like small stuff, whatever. And after this whole year that I was trying to do stuff with football, I realized that that's not going to happen, so we started searching for another profession. And then out of a sudden, my uncle and my mother said, why don't you try to be a cook? And then I said, oh, that's not a bad idea. And then I started like looking what's the whole program in Germany and how does somebody become a cook and this and that. And out of completely luck, I ended up in, I would say, the best restaurant in Munich with a Michelin star and all this. And that's how everything started, like really back in the
Wow.
days.
Wow.
Yeah.
And guys, let me tell you, Dimitrios has an immense experience. He has traveled to most of the places and, you know, has been in a research and development team in the best of restaurants around the globe.
Yeah, my last job was at Borrego, that's in Chile. It's considered the 26th best restaurant in the world. And I was doing like their whole regional development. So yeah, that was one of my last projects.
That's great. That's fantastic. Wow.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. So since you have talked about football, I would really urge to know about your fitness game. I've seen the tattoos. If you could show the viewers your whole tattoos.
Well, it's mostly this hand, but it's not that much. Well, there's nothing else on the body. It's only this.
Okay.
Well, I try to be pretty active. I was pretty active when I was younger. I was really, really fit, especially between 16 and 20. I was really shredded and really fit. Well, now I try as hard as possible. I don't have that much time, but I still try to go with the bike to school, to work every day. So I bike every day, so that's considered still a little bit of fitness.
Yes, absolutely.
I try to run a couple of times a week, but yeah, I think it's really, really important, especially from people like me that work so much. It doesn't only help your body, because your body is going to stay good because you're working so much and you're going to eat that much, so you're going to be thin. But it also helps your mental health. So like going with bike or like going to run once or twice a week, it helps your mind clear and like be better, except from the whole being fit and looking good.
So do you think exercise helps us in releasing our stress and stuff?
Yeah, I think it helps a lot. A lot of people, especially in the industry I work, are doing it as a stress relief, because you're in a closed environment with stress all the time. So you can go out or either run, or other people are starting boxing right now, so that even helps a little bit more. So it helps you like release your stress.
Great, perfect, got you. All right, so moving ahead, my next question to you happens to be, like it is said that let your food be your medicine. So my question to you is, how do you think we could improve the food safety measures?
Well, at home, I think it's way easier than restaurants, because at home you can just go to a supermarket or that you trust, that it's a brand that's not like a neighborhood brand, or a neighborhood brand that you trust, or you can go to your own vegetable guy that sells his own vegetables, so you can monitor it way easier.
Right.
But in my case, in restaurants, it's way more difficult, because you have a big amount of food that's coming to your restaurant every day, several times a week, maybe several times a day. So you need to really monetize like all this stuff that are coming in. Where are they coming from? When did these guys pull it out the air from? When did this guy took the fish out of the sea? You need to know everything, or how did the whole freezing chain of how did they bring, for example, a fish to you? Was it frozen all the way through, like frozen, like putting it in ice? Because if it wasn't in ice and all the time, and if it was like 10 minutes in the sun, this fish may not be good anymore, so you don't want to have this. So you need to trust the people you're buying from and being able to monitor everything. So what we do usually is, when we choose a producer, the first couple of times we go to him, we see how he packs his stuff, how he brings his stuff, so we see like the whole chain from the moment he takes this vegetable or fish or meat, whatever, from the moment he takes it from the farm to the way he transports it and how he brings it to us. So that's really important, so I know how these things end up to me and if it's fresh or if it's not.
Wow. So you have a whole specialization, I believe, in animal butchery. So who better than you would know that?
Exactly. Let's hope.
Hope is always good. All right. So since you have talked about the long process now, so I was wondering how to preserve the nutrition value of the food while cooking. You know, sometimes it happens that when we try to overcook our foods or less cooking. So how to get the proper nutrition of the food when it is cooked properly?
Yeah. So first of all, the easiest way is not frying a lot of stuff, because frying happens in a really a big amount of heat, so most of the nutrients are going out. And then cooking whole vegetables helps a lot, like not cutting them in small pieces, or like keeping, for example, potatoes or carrots, keeping their peel, like their whole peel out from
Mm-hmm.
the outside. This helps a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And then, well, if you know really how to cook, like steaming, I know it's not that tasty, but if it's done correctly, it's really tasty. So
Wow.
that's also a thing, that people don't steam stuff, or they don't steam vegetables, potatoes, fish, whatever, because they think, oh,
Right.
it's really bland and it doesn't taste good. And I'm gonna fry potatoes because French fries are better. But if you do like steaming correctly, it can also be really good. And that's, I think, the main reason. Also, like keeping whole vegetables helps a lot, because you don't cut it in small pieces, so you cannot overcook it that easily if you cut a potato
Correct.
1 centimeter.
All right, all right. Very nicely answered. I think, yeah. If I talk about India, Dimitrios, a lot of people have a tendency to eat fried food over the boiled or steamed food. People do
Yeah.
not prefer. So, have you tried any Indian food, by the way?
Yes, I've never been to India, to be honest, but I've tried a lot of Indian restaurants in London, because there's a lot of immigrants over there. So I've tried a couple of dishes like murg maghani or dal, or of course naan and tandoori,
Oh
different,
wow!
a lot of
Oh
stuff.
wow!
I really like it. But what I've tried is not that fried. I don't know how things are in India, but what I've tried is mostly grilled or steamed or stuff like this.
I would urge you to come to India and have the real flavors of Indian, the
Yeah,
spices that we
it's in my
call it as,
heart, to be
yeah.
honest.
Wow, wow. So good. We are always there for you. Whenever you would come, we are there to assist you.
Nice.
All right. So, Demetrios, as we all know that your specialization is in fermentation of the foods too. So, how fermentation techniques could aid to enhancement of the several nutrition that is there in the food? If
Well,
it,
that's a nice question. Well, lately fermentation has become a trend. I would say the last 3, 4 years, whatever. It's a big trend right now in the culinary world. But it's way more than that. People used to ferment their foods 4, 5, 6,000 years ago, because it's easier. The easiest way to preserve our food. We can make something that grows in the summer. We can eat it in the winter with not the same taste, with even
uh-huh.
better taste, and still have it in the
Oh,
winter. So we not only have in the winter, I don't know, cabbage and celeriac. We can also have fruits or berries that's been fermented or pickled.
right,
And
right.
then fermentation can also enhance the nutritional value of products really easily, because of the increased vitamin levels in them. And also it helps with digestion a lot. And
Fermentation, right.
yeah, and also like their proteins are way more easy to understood by yourself. So the big chains of proteins, the big polypeptides, are broken down in smaller amino acid chains. That
Mm-hmm.
means our how to say it easily now so people can understand it. We
Right,
can
right.
understand protein is easier. That's why also
To
when you go
break,
in a cook
yeah,
studio, you take amino acids to help
correct.
yourself. And
Your
also,
internal body part.
yes, also one of these 20 amino acids is fuck, wait a second, is the glutamic acids, which is what umami tastes like. What a lot of people are talking about umami and this and that. For
True,
me, umami
true.
is the taste of the glutamic acid. So this whole fermentation helps a lot umami, because it breaks down all these amino acids, and in the end, your taste buds and your taste receptors in your mouth can understand this glutamic acid, and it's easier for us to know what umami tastes like.
Okay, and in fact, I haven't tasted umami yet, but now
Well,
I
I'm
that
pretty sure I'm pretty sure you had. You just don't know it yet. I mean, everyone has. You've eaten cheese before. You've eaten a yogurt before, haven't you?
right,
Yes, you
right,
had.
right. Perfect, perfect.
So
So somebody
yeah,
says that it releases a lot of essential enzymes. I think it's very much true.
yes, it's really, yeah, it's true. And then a lot of enzymes released by fermentation are helping us also digest, and then also they're breaking down dietary sugars that are really really difficult to absorb by us. So that's why it also helps us digest.
Okay, wow. So yeah,
Somebody says
so
something with salt.
yeah, is there? It's there in some salts too, right?
Yeah. Well,
Perfect.
fermentation contains salt either way.
Okay, okay, great, great, got it. So, Demetrios, I was wondering, since you have tried different cuisines all around the globe, what happens to be your personal favorite, and why?
Hmm. Well, that everyone asks this, and it's really difficult to say. I would say
You could say
my
India for now.
no, I wouldn't say India. I would say Mexican and Thai,
Mexican and
but
Thai.
it's also debatable. Like I would say
Okay.
one day I would like if I go now and live in Mexico, in 2 months
Mhm.
Mexico is not going to be my favorite anymore because I keep having it
Right.
every day. So
Correct.
right now I'm in Greece, so somebody says Greek. Right now I'm in Greece, so I won't say Greek because I've been having Greek food the last 2 months every day. So I'm not
Oh.
missing it, so it's not my favorite.
Got it completely. Once we try eating the same food, we may get bored.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. So, if you could tell us about the best dish that you have made until now.
That I've made myself.
Oh, incredible.
I would say
Yes.
uh, mm, it's also a difficult question. That
I
I
think
like to make for myself or that I've done in a restaurant.
made for yourself or done in the restaurant. I thought when I asked you this question, I
Yeah.
thought you said I made myself. So I thought
No,
that
no,
is a big compliment.
no. So, um, for myself, I like to cook a lot of Thai food, like easygoing traditional Thai food, because it's really, really high on flavor. Because you're using a lot of fermented stuff like plata or la fish sauce or stuff like this that evolves the
Correct.
flavor a lot. But then
Right.
when I'm in a restaurant, I usually work. I usually work at restaurants that use only ingredients from their own country. For example, if I'm in a country in Chile, I work in a
Okay.
restaurant where they use only Chilean ingredients. So
Oh.
that's pretty difficult to handle because you cannot use, for example, citrus fruits if you are in Northern Europe because no citrus fruits are growing in Northern Europe. And then you need to find other stuff to do. Or we use, for example, ants to
Uh-huh.
get the same flavor of lemon. And then
Correct.
always stuff like this that contains that amount of creativity that, for example, you can use ants or something like this to create a common flavor like lemon. That's all
Mhm.
something I like.
Oh
And I
wow.
also look
Perfect.
after restaurants that are doing it, that like Noma or Inua or Boragoit, which is also a place that I used to work for, because these are restaurants that are doing exactly this.
Oh, got it. Got it. Got it completely. Okay. So moving ahead, I think you would be the best person to answer this question. While considering the current situation, we have been stressing on the immunity booster foods. So, what would you recommend some of the immunity booster foods that we could have, or we would be in fact grateful if you share some of the tips and or some secrets
I
or
lost, I
quick
lost, I
recipes.
lost the whole, I lost the whole question because something happened with the connection. You have to ask it again.
Oh, all right, all right. So sorry. I'll repeat it for you. For sure. Yeah. So I told that you would be the best person to, answer this question as people in current situation are stressing a lot about their immunity boosters food, right? So if you could
Yes.
share some of the quick recipes of, how to enhance the immunity or foods like that, which would help the viewers to tune in with the current situation.
Yes. Using a lot of fermented foods helps with your immunity system a lot because it contains a lot of enzymes and a lot of proteins that helps you in your immunity system. So, for example, building. I always recommend to people that are cooking every day and cooking every day at home to build a pantry for themselves. Build a pantry with pickles, fermented stuff. Because you're using them every day, you can keep them. They basically don't go rotten in the fridge, so you can keep them forever. I would say they can do something like a sauerkraut, which is basically just chopped cabbage with 2% salt, and you leave it outside for like 7 days, and then you can keep it in the fridge forever. It has a kind of sour note to it, and it goes with everything. It's a German thing, but it's used all over the world. It's basically like a German kimchi. So kimchi is basically the same thing, plus with spices. And then I always urge people to go outside and like found stuff that are edible, ramsons and walnuts, fresh walnut leaves, and pickled all that stuff with like some vinegar, water, and salt. And you can also keep all that stuff in your fridge forever and just add it to your food. Because it goes with everything. It's just a sour thing that goes with everything. So whatever you're cooking with, you can add it to your food and make something that's rich in flavor and in nutrition. So that also helps. Apart from that, a lot of smoothies and all this whole trend that was a couple of years ago, it's also actually really helpful, especially if you have one of these slow juicers. I don't know if the one with the centrifuge that goes like this is the best one to get if you're willing to get one. It also helps a lot preserve all the nutrients if you're juicing spinach to broccoli to everything, even to fruits. And then steamed fish is also really good. Chicken, of course. But I would say fish is out of meat, poultry, and seafood. Fish is like salmon or tuna, which is more highly in omega-3. It's the best ones to get.
Perfect. Somebody is asking, how about coffee?
First of all, I would start with that I do not drink coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really surprising.
Mostly because it's really bad for a really good friend of mine is a dentist, so I know how bad it is for your teeth. So only for that reason I try to keep away from it. And it also not really brings anything to you except from the caffeine that keeps you. It also not works for everyone. It's a matter of thing. So I wouldn't use it for something like this.
Okay, got it.
Only for the reason that, except also from the reason that it also destroys your teeth really bad. It's almost as bad as smoking.
Oh, drinking coffee?
Yes.
So if you could highlight,
not to your organism, to your teeth.
Absolutely. So if you could highlight some of the basic teeth care routine, we would like to know from you.
Well, everything is just the basic stuff like brushing the teeth twice a day and then just floss, and that's it. But it helps, and then because that just can be really painful sometimes.
True. So how about green tea when it comes to building our immunity?
Well, I will not say that any tea helps with immunity, but it contains some antioxidants, so it helps you with future cancers or heart diseases. This is what you take green tea for the antioxidants, not for your immunity, like kind of immunity system, that's it, but it helps mostly through heart problems in the future, not if you have them right now. This is not going to help you if you have a heart attack. Green tea is not going to help you. It helps if you are, for example, 20 and you drink tea usually, then maybe you have less chances of having a heart attack when you are 50 or having different kinds of cancers.
All right. So since you have talked about antioxidant, I would like to share one of our bars which contains, a good amount of antioxidants, and it has no preservatives and no sugar, nothing artificial sugar. It's all natural. So Dimitrios, I would love to ask you a question which was asked by one of our viewers called, what would be the importance of protein, carbs and natural sugars like honey or say jaggery or things like that?
Yes. So, first of all, let's start with that honey does not contain any protein or fat or fiber. So it's basically only sugars. It's natural sugars
Right.
though.
True.
So it contains some traces of vitamins, but it's like under 1%. So you need to eat like jars and jars of honey to do this. So it's also not helpful. Honey,
Right.
what honey contains is antioxidants. The same thing we said before. It helps with the heart problem, it helps with cancers. And also, having lived in Mexico, you learn that it helps with eye problems. So in Mexico, they take honey and they put it in the eyes, like just
Oh.
a drop of honey, not
Got
and
it. Yeah.
it also speeds up wounds and burns. So it speeds it up for about like 47%. Putting honey on a wound or on a burn.
Wow. Impressive.
Yes. Apart from that, it helps a lot with the taste. It helps a lot if you're diabetic, using honey instead of sugar. But still, even if it helps, you cannot eat big amounts of it because it's still high in calories. And yeah, you'll eventually get fat if you eat a lot of honey. You can, it's way healthier than sugar, but it's still not the healthiest thing in the world. You should and you must eat it like 2-3 times a week, but you shouldn't like exceed the normal amounts of it.
Like it is said, excess of anything is bad. So since you have talked, right? Yeah. So and what about proteins and carbohydrates?
On what?
In general, how does it help our body?
Well, it helps mostly carbs are helping us to be as person. Like without carbohydrates, you cannot live. It's your energy. It's what keeps you going every day. And yeah, we should eat at least 67% carbohydrates of all our foods to be carbohydrates because it's actually our energy. And most of the people are trying to make all these diets that are low on carbs and low on fat and this and that. But what I always say to people, and what I used to do back in the day when I was more fit and when I was going to the gym every day and I was playing
You're
football.
still fit, Dimitrios.
Yeah, but I was more professionally fit in the way back.
Right.
So to eat everything, but under some boundaries. Like, do not eat only protein, do not eat only carbs, do not eat only fats. Eat everything with the specific amount that you should. Because otherwise, your body is built like this. Otherwise, you cannot function correctly.
Right.
If
Agree
you eat
with
only
you.
proteins, you'll get muscles, you'll get everything, but you'll have no energy and continuing after a couple of days, a couple of weeks, you will have nothing anymore. And also, eating fats helps your immune system and everything. Otherwise, your metabolism is going to go down if you're not eating fats, and that's also going to be a problem. So I would suggest people eating everything with the correct amount.
Correct amount, right. Okay. So some of our viewers are asking that do you do yoga?
No, I don't. Well, I've done it in the past a couple of times. But it's, to me, like, not being a really, really flexible person, it's really difficult and really painful.
True.
So,
I agree with you.
So I guess if my sister does it, for example, that's more flexible. For her, it's easier. It's still difficult, but it's easier. To me, I feel like I'm going to break all my life.
Wow. I think the network is lagging. Yeah, good. So yeah, I think the point that you mentioned about yoga, that we may break our bones if we do it in an incorrect form, or
it's really good. It's really, really, really good, and it helps you a lot if you can do it. But I can't
do it.
I've tried it, but I can't.
All right. Perfect. So since we are about to conclude this session, Dimitrios, I would want you to say something to our viewers like a piece of advice or motivation to all of them who are watching you currently?
I lost the whole question again.
Yeah, I think there is some network. I'll repeat it. All right.
Okay.
So
Can you repeat it again because I lost you?
yes, yes, please, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problems, no problem. So Dimitrios, I was wondering. Now we are about to conclude this session. So a
Yeah.
piece of advice that you would like to give to our viewers, with any aspect, let's say life or motivation or fitness, anything.
Yes. So I would suggest people to just don't go crazy with any of the diets that you see online that you can lose 10 kilos in 2 weeks or all of this stuff. Just try to eat normally, just the normal amounts, the normal foods. Eat everything so you get all proteins, all carbohydrates, vitamins, fats. You get everything, and then just try to go to the gym or go running or take the bicycle a couple of times a week so you stay
Okay.
healthy. I always think like all these radical things that huge diets that you go crazy can be really bad for yourself. I've also done it myself, so I know that it's not always helpful, and you can also go really
Oh.
bad back to where you were.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
that, and on the other side, on cooking and keeping everything safe, like try to know where your stuff comes from. If there's someone local that sells vegetables, try go to him and not go to the supermarket to buy your vegetables. It can be also cheaper to a local
Cheaper.
farmer, and you know where your stuff comes from. It's really really
Correct.
important.
Correct.
Also with fish and meat, try to find people that you trust, because you cannot go to the farm every day and get your meat and get your whatever, or you cannot go fishing by yourself every day. You also have to go to work. So just try to find people that you can trust
Right.
and build from that. And then somebody asked before about salt intake, and I want to answer that.
Okay, please.
I'm yeah, that I'm a person that uses a lot of salt in restaurants, not a lot, the correct amount, because it's a taste enhancer. It's the most easy one to use, and it enhances the flavor of everything. But apart from that, it's also really unhealthy for yourself.
Okay.
Eating a lot of salt. So I always suggest people to, when they're home, use a little bit less salt, because all of us, especially me and people from the industry, are going out to eat. So when you go out to eat, you're eating mostly salty food, not in a bad way, but food that has salt and that has a lot of butter and a lot of oils. So I always suggest people when they're home to try to cook more easygoing stuff that are healthier. So you can have like this meal 1 or 2 times a week where you can go outside and eat something not unhealthy, but something that's a bit fattier and
Beneficial.
saltier. And so yeah, that's what I would say.
Got it, got it. Thank you so much for addressing
You're
every
welcome.
question which viewers asked and responding to my questions. Thank you so much. Dimitrios, one last thing I would want you to do. Just say to all Indian viewers, Namaste. That's
Namaste.
a greeting, or say
Wait, namaste
Alvida.
again. Namaste.
Wow, perfect, perfect. So grateful. Thank you,
So
Demetrios,
thank
for
you so
sharing
much.
your insights. All right, guys. So, such a lovely person he was, and he shared some valuable information about the whole fermentation processes and things like that. And he also talked about energies that sometimes we do not often get more energy from a place. So that's the reason, or the whole purpose of Oatopia is here for you all. We have launched these energy bars for you guys, which would, and this is the banana steak, which would keep you healthy and at the same time keep going with your energy and the levels which are there. And it has no preservatives. It's all natural sugar, which is jaggery and honey. It contains oats, which is the most beneficial part, of a diet that one should have. And all right, so I would like to conclude this session. Demetros, really grateful, and thank you to dearest viewers and audience for watching this video. I would like to conclude this session by a quote which I strongly believe in. Humans are born everywhere, but humanity is rare. Demetros, all the way from Greece, came to empower, to share the knowledge of him to the viewers everywhere. Thank you so much. Thank you to the audience for joining in and supporting the session. We have like amazing guests coming up, and keep connected and stay safe, stay healthy, and until then, live better and eat smarter. Oatopia. I hope you have tried our new flavors, haven't you? There are many flavors which has come up. I would request you to check the page of Oatopia so that you get more information from them. All right. Thank you.